Hey everybody, welcome back to another Raspberry Pi Foundation Digital Making at Home video. I'm here with my sidekick Zay.
Hi everybody.
Hey, and then this week our theme is let us entertain you, or entertainment. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a simple little game, like a memory game, kind of like Dance Dance Revolution, where you have to repeat a sequence back. And now the instructions, you can get a hold of them, are at rpf.io/dm-memory. And we're going to have a starter project this week, which has a lot of the sprites already added, and it has the backdrop added, just to save you some of that extra time when you get going along. I'm going to pass across to Xavier, and he's going to open up the Scratch. He's going to remix that project, and then we'll jump through the instructions. I'll show you where you need to jump through to pick up where we started off. Just wanted to save you a little bit of that extra effort at the beginning and make it easier for you to carry on with on this video this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet, man. So I'll switch across to our new scene. There we go. And so there's us, and here's our Scratch. So if you want to remix that project there, Xavier. So remember everybody, this project is at rpf.io/dm-memory game. You just got to click remix once you're logged into your account, and it should open up a project that looks exactly like this. And you see we've got the 5 sprites added down the bottom, and they're all colored for you, and we've got the backdrop there. So jump across to the instructions there, and click down to where it says create a color sequence on the left there. And then we can just scroll down a bit to see where we've already ticked up to. So we've added all these bits for you guys, and then we can pull this bit here. So fantastic. So now what we need to do is go back to our project, man, and create a new list called sequence. That's it. So let's go to our variables menu. Amazing. And make a new list. Now remember, we want this one to be specifically for this sprite. Well done, buddy, preempting me. And then go into new list name, and let's call it sequence. And this list that we're making now is where we're going to put the sequence of colors and numbers that we want our project to remember for us, so that we can copy them back in and repeat them back to the game. Yep, and an E on the end. Well done, bud. Fantastic. So you can hit enter or click OK. Either one works. And then we've got our new list here. So we can see that it's on our main sprite. So at the top of our list there, it says main:sequence. So that's the sprite that it's on and the name of our list. Fantastic, man. So ping back to your instructions now. That's the way. And you can give that one a tick. Cool. Then we go down. It tells us there's a whole bunch of new blocks that have been added for our list. And you'll see that each one of the colors on our sprites has got a different number. So we're going to go down, and we're going to add that code to our main sprite. So the main sprite in our one looks a little bit different to this ballerina, but if you click on that, that's it, Zay. And then the code we want is when our green flag is clicked. Fantastic. We want to go to our sequencing blocks, and we want to add one to our list. Fantastic. And then we want a random number. So we go to our operators, grab random, and throw it across. Now we've got 4 sprites and 4 costumes, so what's our random number going to be between 1 and
10.
Nah, it's already 1 and 10. We've got 4 sprites down the bottom. We want it to be between 1 and
4.
Yeah. So pop a 4 into our second hole there. So our random number between 1 and 4. And if you click the green flag now, we should see it add a number to that list on the screen for us. Do it again. Do it again. Awesome. And we'll notice that all of them are less than 4, aren't they, Squanch? Cool. Yeah. So let's head across to our variables blocks again. And we're going to show them that pro tip. So if you roll down a little bit and click 1 time on the one that says delete all of sequence. It's the second one from the top right now. Just click on it 1 time. Bam, and it clears it all out. That's right, very good, man. So that's a little pro tip for everyone at home. When you're using Scratch, you can activate the blocks in the menu by just clicking on them 1 time, and it will do what you want it to do. So back to our instructions.
And I can see it because it has 2 yellow lines, and I always remember them.
That's right, it does a yellow outline when you activate the block, doesn't it? So we can tick that one off. And we can tick the next one off because we already tested our code. And so now what we want is we want to add a bit to our code to have it repeat that a number of times. We want it to add 5 numbers at a time. So what block would we need, do you reckon, to make it do something 5 times in a row?
Repeat?
Yeah, man. Let's go have a look. So go back to our project. We want a repeat block.
And if you don't remember what we said, or we weren't paying attention for, but you can press I need a hint, and they'll tell you all the stuff.
That's right. So the hint blocks are really handy in the project side, aren't they? In case you forgot or you weren't listening, that's really good advice, man. Well done. So let's go to our control block, and we want to repeat. Drag that in and clip it around your add block. That's the one. And now we want it to repeat 5 times. 10 times is a lot to remember, so let's start with 5. You can make your game more complicated if you want, and I'll do some bonus features videos for this one as well afterwards. So now, Zay, if you click the green flag, it should add 5 random numbers to our list. Bam! Well done, buddy. That's great. And so we can see here that they might all be the same, because that's not what randomness is, doesn't it? Randomness doesn't mean that everything is different. It means that you don't know what you're going to get next. So there is a chance that you could get all the same all the way through. So let's go back to our instructions.
And it's not all like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's right, that's a sequence, isn't it?
Yeah.
We don't want that. So let's tick that one off, and then we can go down, And so here we go. So here now we're starting to get into the tricky parts. So in our code, what we want is immediately below our random number, we want to switch our costume. So that's under our looks, that's it. So click this into your loop, switch costume 2.
Switch costume 2.
That's it, plug that in, up underneath our orange, up inside the loop. That's the way. And now you can go back and check your instructions if you want to see what the next block you need to add is. So we want an item something of sequence and a length of sequence nested inside that. So let's go back to our variables blocks. Cool. And we want item something of sequence, item 1, that's it. Plug that into our hole in the purple block. And then we want the length of sequence plugged into our number 1. Awesome, well done, buddy. Great. So tell you what, mate, why don't you just click the magnifying glass 1 or 2 times so people can see our blocks a bit bigger. There we go. Excellent, mate. Well done. Really good. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we've got that now. So if you click the green flag, we should see it add 5 numbers. Oh, that went very fast, didn't it? What do you think we should put on the end? Just to make it slow down a little bit.
Wait 1 second.
Well done, mate. Excellent work. So let's go to our controls and plug in a wait 1 second. Oh, inside our loop, that's the way. And so we can just do that again. And it should add 5. So you can go back to your variables and delete all the ones in your list if you want to. So delete all of sequence, just click it 1 time. Down, down, down. That's the one. Oh, not pull down. That's it. There we go. All gone. So now when you push the green flag, we should get... Fantastic. And we see it changing costume every time it adds a new number. That's brilliant. That's exactly what we want it to do, isn't it?
Yep.
Nice work, man. So let's go back to our instructions. Tick them off.
Tick this one off.
Yeah, tick that one off and go down a bit. Now we're going to add some sounds. This is your favourite part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds are your favourite part of Scratch, aren't they? Okay, so what we want to do is we've tested our project and sometimes it chooses the same number twice, which is fine. And that actually makes it harder to memorize, right? Because it's easier if it goes 1, 3, 4, 2, right? But if it goes 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, like that's like your brain sort of freaks out a little bit sometimes, makes it harder. And we can add a difficulty level as we go, which is something I'll do in another bonus features video a bit later on. So let's add our music extension now, Xavier. So tick that first box because we've tested our project.
And I like and the sounds more because it has like the loops and it's like rapping them.
Right, cool. So we can add some loops maybe a bit later. But I think mostly for this project we want effects, right? Yeah. Which are a bit shorter, aren't they? Audio cues for our player.
There's like 3 words and it's easy.
Awesome. So let's go down to our add extensions block, which is down the bottom left. It's our little blue one. That's it, mate. Click that. And then we want to add music. Cool. So we see you get our new music block come up. They're like sort of a greenish sage colour. And they're all the ones we're going to want to add now. So let's go back to our instructions to see exactly what blocks they need us to add. So pop down a bit, and we can tick that because we've added the music extension. And then we want to play a drum. So do you remember how to do the drum noise? Yeah, you do. Cool, let's swing back. So grab your play drum block and plug that in underneath your switch costume block. Oh, it's under your music menu, mate. Yeah. Under music, you want the one that says play drum. That's it. Plug it in under our purple one, above our weight. Now, the next part, what we need to do is we want it to play a drum that corresponds to the number it adds to our list. Now, again, we're programmers, right? So we work smarter. We don't ever work harder, do we? Some people call that laziness, but we call it clever. So we right-click on where it says item in our purple block. Up in our switch costume, right-click on item in here, buddy. That's it. Duplicate and plug that into your drum block. Straight into the hole. No, not that one.
Oops.
No, so just grab it, drag it out, pop it in where it says snare drum.
So snare drum.
Oh, no, so go back.
I took the...
Back in the hole, right click on item, duplicate, and inside... Whoa, okay, throw that in the bin.
Oh, gee.
It's okay, so grab it down here where it says switch costume and throw it away.
Yeah.
Right click on where it says item in the orange block, duplicate, and put that into that hole underneath. That's it. Bang, in there, all good. And now we can see, as it changes, it gives us a different drum sound to help us remember as well, right? So the drum sound is really handy because if you get the same colour twice, you'll get a different drum beat though, and it will tell you then that those are 2 ones that are the same. So let's go back to our variables list and clear our sequence list. So go down a bit, delete all of sequence, click on that 1 time, just not on the pull down part, that's the way, and you can test it again. Green flag.
Now there's the drum sound that changes costume.
Nice. Awesome, man. So back to our instructions. And we can go tick that off. And then we can have repeat the sequence. Now this is the bit where it starts to get a little fiddly, everyone. So we've got our 4 new sprites. They're already added to your project. So you can click the tick on that one, Xavier. We've got that. Okay, and they're in the same order as our costumes. It's already pre-prepared for everybody. So now what we want is we want to click on our first red sprite, and we want it to have a broadcaster message so that it knows when it's been clicked. Our main sprite can tell that you've clicked that red one. So let's go to our project. That's it. Up there, yep, cool. And then we want to click on our red sprite down the bottom, making sure that we're working in our red sprite this time. And we know, how do we know it's the right one?
Because when you press on it, it goes.
It does?
A square on it, and you can see down here.
And where can we tell in our workspace over here where the code goes? How do we know it's the right person that we've got selected?
Because if you have a new person, it'll just have nothing there.
Yep, and we've also got the little guy in the top corner, don't we?
Yeah.
It shows us that it's our red sprite that's been selected. Fantastic. So what we want now...
all of them is going to be there.
That's right.
Because that tells you which one it's going to have
That's
selected.
right. So we know where the code's going.
Yeah.
So what we want is we want a when this sprite clicked event. So let's go to our events menu. And we want when this sprite clicked. And then we want to broadcast. So grab a broadcast across from that same menu, same events menu down the bottom there. It says broadcast. That's it. Clip it up there. And we want to change that message to say red. New message and red. Cool. Hit enter. Nice. And so now we know that when this sprite clicked, it will broadcast the message red, and we can start to use that now. So don't duplicate it yet, mate. Just leave it there for now. Let's go back to our instructions. Okay, go down and check to make sure we got the right code.
Yep.
That's the same, isn't it? Give it a tick. Down a bit more. Okay, so now this explains to us what a broadcast is, so we'll go through that quickly for everybody. So what we do is when it broadcasts, it's kind of like shouting out a message, isn't it? And so when we click our red sprite, the red sprite kind of shouts to all the other sprites in our project, red, so that everything knows, okay, we clicked the red one. And anything we want to have happen on any of our other sprites, once we click the red one, we can make it happen with that broadcast when I receive a broadcast.
It's like in football, it tells you which team's going on.
Yeah.
It shouts which team's going on, or it just says when... like the referee says some tackle someone.
Yeah, when he blows the whistle, right? People know that that's all happened and we stop the game, right? Or we start the game when the ref blows the whistle. It's just like that. So we now need to take that code, Zay, and copy it to all of our other sprites. So let's go back to our project and drag that code across to our blue, green, and yellow people. How do you know it's going to go on the right person?
It like wiggles a bit.
It does a wiggle, yeah. So the drag and wiggle. Whoa. I hate when that happens, don't you?
Yeah.
There we go. Cool. So let's go to our blue guy now. And make sure his message says blue. Awesome. All right. So we're going to do the same for all of our sprites. We're going to make sure that our blue one is blue and our yellow one is yellow and our green one is green. Yep. And then an E. And enter. And let's go to our green guy. No, we've already copied it. That's right. So let's go. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll neaten itself up later. This guy's green. So we want it to be our green message.
Green.
Close. Enter or OK. And then our last guy should have a yellow message. That's the way. And so once we've copied all these messages across, we know that if we click on these particular sprites, they'll broadcast saying that they're the color that they've been ticked. So let's go back to our instructions. Fantastic. So you can tick that one off. Cool. And so now what we want is we need to go back to our main sprite, because what we want it to do is say, if I receive the message red, I want to check that the color that's at the top of the list is red, right? It has the first sprite costume on it. And so if it's the same, then cool. And if it's not the same, then womp womp. All right? And you've done it wrong. So let's go back to our main character. So back to our project, yep. And click on the main character sprite. Fantastic. And so you can scroll down a little bit because we're going to have a little bit more space to play with now. So grab a when I receive. That's the one. And make sure it says when I receive a red. We'll start with the first person, right? So it makes sense to start with our number one sprite and then move across to our other sprites so that we don't get lost in our work. So when I receive red. So once it takes that message, we want to do a comparison. So if something, otherwise something. So let's have a look at our instructions. Go down a little bit. There we go. So we want an if-else block, which looks like a big capital E shape, right? So an if-else block, Zay, you can add that to your project now. Head across.
And it looks like it's a lot, but it's not really.
It's not actually that much, is it? It's only a few blocks in our
Maybe
project.
like 6 or 7 blocks.
Yeah. So go back across. Grab our if-else from control, okay? And so an if-else logic block is kind of like if something happens, do this, otherwise do something else, right? So we want an equals operator in there. Fantastic. And now let's have a look at our instructions and see what the rest of it was. Do you remember, or should we have a look?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, so let's take a look. That's okay. That's what the instructions are there for. So we want...
Item
Yep.
and delete. And
Right.
that's 1.
Fantastic. So let's go back, shall we? So we want that number to change to 1.
1 and an item.
Yeah, so back in our variables list, fantastic. If item 1 of sequence. So if the top one equals 1, then delete that one.
Delete.
Very good. So we want delete 1 of sequence. Okay, cool. Do you remember what comes after that? Should we have another look?
Yeah.
Let's have another look.
Say game over.
And then?
And then for 1 second.
Yeah.
And then all stop.
And stop everything. Fantastic. So let's go back. So if we get it wrong, right? If we get it right, if the top one is number 1 when we click it, fantastic. If it's not, game over for you. So let's go to looks, and we want it to say game over. Under. Oh, drag it under. That's it. Say game over. And then we need another control block, right? So this game is unforgiving. If you get one thing wrong, it's game over for you, almost. You spelled that in Middle English there, game over. Cool. And then we want a control block, and we want it to be stop all, which is down the bottom. There it is, stop all. Let's plug that in under our purple say block. Okay, fantastic. So we've got a piece of code now that says if you've clicked the red one, and the top number in our list is the red one, which is number 1, then remove it from our list, and the next ones will move up, and then we can click our next sprite, right? So let's duplicate that code, and we're going to change it. Click it underneath. Cool, and we want this one to be blue, and number 2.
We're going to keep doing that till the end,
Cool,
right?
Yep. Great, and you can duplicate it again. Pop it in. Make sure it's what's number 3. What colour is number 3?
Yellow?
No, you can check the sprite. That's it, green. And then we want to duplicate another one. And you can pop that down and make sure it says yellow and number 4. That's okay, you can make that one yellow number 4, it's the same. As long as we've got one of each, we'll be okay. And then yellow number 4. Cool. So, you can clean up your blocks because I know you love to do that. You like having a nice neat workspace, don't you?
Yeah, because then we won't actually know which one's which, and only if you
Smart,
look at them,
man.
have to move
Smart, having a tidy workspace means you can see where all your tools are. So, what we've got now is we've got our nice code that says if I receive a certain colour, check to make sure it's the right colour that it's supposed to be, and then carry on. So let's test our work. So go across to your variables list. We're going to add a bit of code in here. So go to that delete all and drag it up and put it under your green flag. So this time, every time we start a new game, it will clear our sequence and start all over again. So click our green flag. You see, we'll clear our sequence, then add a new one. Okay, so now we can kind of cheat a bit because it's showing us what the sequence is on the screen. So why don't you just win the game for us, eh? So click the sprites on the screen in the right order. Up in the screen, mate. No, so that's it. Cool. And now let's get the last one wrong. Let's get the last one. Ah, there we go. And it says game over if we get it wrong. And it stops all our sprites. Fantastic. So that's working. Yep. Nice. Let's go back to our instructions. Cool. We can give that a tick now. Give it a tick. Tickaroo. Fantastic. Let's head down.
Right, it all ticks.
Yeah, we're on top of it. Don't worry. And so now what we wanted to do is you love adding the sounds, right? So like this one here says we can add a drum beat. But I reckon what we want to do is you want to add a different sound, right? Because you're a sound man. So let's go back to our project.
And we don't want to spend too much time on the sound to get the whole project finished. finished.
Right, that's okay, man. We'll carry. We've got a bit of time. We're doing okay for time. So we want to add a sound now that's a yes, cool sound, and we want to add a sound now that's a womp womp, not good sound.
Yeah.
Right. So what sounds are you going to add? Do you think? So remember, you want to add that sound to your main sprite though. So go back because you had the wrong sprite selected.
Oh yeah.
Select your main sprite to add the sounds to. Fantastic. We're going to add a new sound.
Effects.
Yeah. And we want a good sound and a bad sound. A yes and a no. That's pretty good as a bad sound. And then what do we want as a good sound? So effects are nice things to add for our games because having an audio cue for your player is very important. Like you'll notice in all of the video games that you play, there are audio cues for basically everything that happens. You get something good, you get a good sound. If something bad happens, you get a bad sound. If you get hit in a game or you crash in the game, everything has a sound, right? So you have to tie up those visual... You want that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might. So if you want visual cues, you should link them up with audio cues for your player, and it makes...
Yeah.
a really nice... I'll turn the volume down a little bit because we're quite loud, aren't we, buddy? So it makes a nice link up for your player when you've got a visual and an audio cue. Cool?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to our code. And so go to your sounds and scroll down a little bit so we can see our when I receive cues. So go up a bit, up, 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 up. And we want to use our start sound, not our play until done. But roll down a little bit before you start adding them. Okay, so we've got our red one here. So let's go play sound ta-da until done and put that above your delete one of sequence. No, start sound. Cool, above delete. Fantastic. And now we want grab another one that says start sound and pop it in above our game over. Above our game over, that's it. And change that to our womp womp. Fantastic. So scroll down to the next one and we do the same. We want to start sound ta-da above our delete. And then we want to start sound womp womp. Cool. Grab another one, start sound above our say game over. And we want that to be our dun dun dun. Yep. Although you've missed a couple there, but that's okay. Made that one dun dun dun. And then grab another ta-da and plug it in above the delete one there. So that's it in here. Cool. And now grab another one and plug it in up here. We want to make sure that we get all of them.
There.
That's it. And that one should be dun dun dun. Cool, go down a bit more. Here we go, so we've got a few more. So under that one, so grab another start sound, ta-da. Plug it in above our delete. Awesome. And another one above our game over and make that the bad noise.
You can always tell because it's game over and done.
That's right, that's bad, isn't it? Game over is bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's test our program this time. So let's get a couple right. And I get one wrong. Awesome, man. Great work. Okay, so let's go back to our instructions and have a look. So we're pretty much done and we've got a nice playable game now. So you can tick that one off and you can tick the next one off. Fantastic. So now we've got all those sorts of things happening. Everything's responding right to our colors. We know that we can have our sprites be clicked and they say whether it's good or they say whether it's bad, right? We get a cool audio cue for that. So go down now. We can tick those off because this is all about duplicating your code to other sprites, which we've already talked everybody through. And so now we've got this one here. So this is our win condition, right? So games should have a lose condition and a win condition. And the win condition for this game is once you've got rid of everything in the sequence because you've got them all right, remembering that when you get it right, it removes it from the list. So when our list has nothing left in it, we win.
Yeah.
Yeah? So let's go back to our code. We're going to so right click and clean up your blocks, man, because they're starting to overlap each other a little. Go all the way to the top to our green flag script. There we go. So underneath our repeat, you want to wait until control block. So you can drag that green flag up. I know you're itching to do that. That's it. And now grab a control block. We want wait until. No, you want that space, but that's okay.
Control.
Wait until. Down a little bit. There it is. Right on the bottom. And so we want it to wait until our list has nothing. When our sequence number of things equals 0. So grab an equals operator. Plug it in. We want that number to be 0. Cool. You just type 0 over the top. Pow, there we go. And so now we want to go back to our list and we want it to say when length of sequence equals 0. So go to variables, back to our list blocks, and we want length of sequence equals 0. It'll be a nice round one to fit in that nice round hole. There it is. Plug that into our first hole. And then we want it to broadcast a message saying, you win. Yeah? So let's do that. Let's make a new broadcast. So go to control.
Control?
Yeah, and we want, or is it an events block, isn't it? Broadcast, or is it control? Events, very good. So broadcast, drag it across to the bottom, and add a new message that is 1. So WON for you won the game, not ONE for number 1. So WON. Enter. Cool. And then we want when I receive 1. So grab another when I receive block, and you can just click this on right at the top corner where there's that little bit of space left over. So up there, so everyone can see what we're doing across a bit. So we've got space, fantastic, and make that say when I receive 1. Cool. We want it to start. Now this is the bit you love the most. You can add your loop now. So add your loop. What loop do you want for when you win?
I usually do one special.
You do have a favourite loop, don't you? Use it in everything. That's the one. Okay, plug it in. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So let's go back to our code now. Fantastic. And then we want to have a loop. Oh, we don't even need a loop actually. So let's grab our sound and start our sound. So start our victory music. So start sound dance celebrate. Fantastic, man. Plug that in under when I receive 1 at the top there. Up, up, up. No. That's it. Across. Fantastic. And then we want a repeat block, or we want a loop, don't we? So grab another repeat. And repeat. Up, up, up. Oh, that's it. Plug it in under our purple one. Cool. And then what we want it to do is you go to looks, because this is like your favorite thing to do. That's it. So go to looks.
Looks.
And grab down the bottom there, there's a block that says change color effect by 25 and throw that into the repeat. Done, that's it in there. Cool. And so now when you receive 1, what's he going to do?
He's going to do a lot of different colours.
He's going to do a lot of different colours, which you love to have happen, right?
Really good.
Yeah. But remember, it's only going to do it 10 times. Do you remember what number we worked out was exactly the right
180.
length? 180. You use Dance Celebrate so often that we know exactly how many crazy repeats. Not that number. Up here into your repeat block. That's it, 180. Cool. Now, what you have to do is if you just click the top of that receive, it should do it.
Yep.
Pretty good. Okay, and so now, can you see how your sprite is all like sort of weird colours?
Yeah.
Yeah, so go up to the top. When we get to our green flag, scroll up. That's it. So underneath your green flag, grab that clear graphic effects block and just plug that in under your green flag. Yep. Up. That's it. Cool. And so what that will do is every time we start the game again, it will remove all those weird colours and put it back to normal. So let's test our game from beginning to end. So click the green flag.
And you can remove this to make it a lot harder.
We'll do that once we've done our last test. So let's do our final test now. So win the game, Zay. And again. Victory. Nice. Cool. So, to get rid of that list, just go to your variables menu. This is a really easy part. And click the tick next to sequence. Gone. And so now when you run the game, it won't show the people. You have to listen. You remember? Nice work, man. That's awesome. Well done, buddy.
She looks like she has like a little claw.
That's cool, right? Yeah, you did well. So that's the project. That's the memory game, everybody. That's the stable playable game that we've got. And so for some of our bonus features this week, I'll come back and add a couple of different bits to show you how to add a high score and do a couple of other really cool funky things to make the game just a bit more polished for when you want to send it out and share it with people like your grandma or any of your friends. Was that fun?
Yeah.
You did really well this day, man. That was good. That was good. Is that one of your favourite projects?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's cool. So we can share this with all your mates now. They can see the game you made. We'll send it to your teacher at school, eh?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So remember, everybody, that we'd love to see you share your work with us at rpf.io/home. And if you make something particularly cool, remember that Coolest Project is opening up for registration soon. You can get to that at coolestprojects.org. That's a really nice competition that's open to everybody in the world. If you made something awesome, come and share it with the community there. You can win all sorts of cool stuff and get lots of recognition for your amazing work. And don't forget to watch our live stream every week. It just comes on at Wednesdays at 2 p.m. in British summertime. And it's streaming live to the world. We're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And we do that every single week. Me and a bunch of young people we can get on and we can do some really cool coding type stuff. So we'll catch you later, everybody. So say bye, dude.
Bye.
See you later, everyone. Bye.